Here comes the sun. Da, 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 da. Monday morning. Did you guys have a nice weekend? We did. We're getting ready to go to Homesteaders of America. We just got back from Ohio. I owe you guys some gift cards. We have the $100 gift cards that we did coming out to Layman's. I'm going to get those out in the mail to you. I know you're waiting, and you even sent me an email saying your husband was checking the mailbox every day, and I said we were coming, and I was going to get them over the weekend, and then I had Stacy get them, and then she kept them in her purse and backpacked them around for a couple days. I said, where are those things at? And she said, oh. So she got them, and I'm going to get those out to you right now. And then while we're getting ready to go to Homesteaders of America in Virginia, but I have to bring you these stories because they're very, 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 very important. A lot of y'all have been watching our videos. My name's Doug. My wife's name's Stacy. We live off-grid in a log cabin that we built ourselves. Well, I built it in 90 days with no experience. We were just like you guys. We lived in the city in a big overpriced house with too many rooms, and our family was growing apart, and we were eating processed food, and we were feeling sick, and you know, just not living our best life. And then one day we kind of woke up out of the stupor, and Doug decided to sell his house and everything in it. And we bought 11 acres, and you know, we built a log cabin. We live 100% off rainwater. We grow 90% of our food. It's mostly right behind you here. This is our garden area behind you here. And we poop in buckets, and we are the ungovernable, and we love it, right? And so we teach people how to live our lifestyle on social media, and we do it for free. Like, we just show up and we put these videos up, and it's all to help you become a better you, right? We show you all of our systems and all the things that we do. We share the pain and the successes, and now lately we're talking about things that are going to impact your life, which is politics a little bit of health and nutrition more, and we're just trying to get you guys off of the system and get you back to God's system. Yeah, I said it, God's system. The system of the seed and the bounty that comes from the seed and the sweat of your brow. There's blessings that we're receiving now that we never received before when we lived in the city. And we want you guys to experience those blessings. So we share all of our information on social media. We go to these speaking gigs. We leave the farm and travel all this way to come see you guys just so we can teach you this stuff and to help you move your needle. Okay. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a couple of stories that are coming, and you're not going to like them. A lot of you guys are trying to prepare to get off grid, which means you're saving your money. You're trying to figure out your land, which is maybe going to entail some borrowing money, and it's going to get harder and harder for you to leave the city and make the life that you want to, right? So just keep that in mind when I'm reading you these stories, and if you can accelerate your program, you might want to try to do that. America's economy is too strong for its own good. You ever heard something like that? America's economy too strong for its own good? That's from the Economist, right? It's been around for a long time, the Economist. It says, despite market turmoil, the Fed is set on relentless rate rises. Now, in case you guys don't know, I'm going to just go over this really quick. The Federal Reserve Bank has absolutely nothing to do with America, has absolutely nothing to do with anything that we have going on. It is a privately run company. Did you know that? The Federal Reserve, that's all a nameplay to scam you into believing that it's true, okay? Now, I don't know if you know this either, but we've had Federal Reserves, I think 4 times, central banks here in America, 4 different times, and 3 times we kicked them out, and then they were able to weasel their way back in, okay? And then they were in during the gold swap out when Nixon got rid of the gold standard. You guys don't even know what happened when he did that. That was all the play, Jose, okay? You guys, we're being manipulated and bossed around by these people, and it's not good, right? But they raised the rates, and the Federal Reserve took away the gold standard, and ever since they did, the interest rates have been going up, up, up. Depreciation on the dollar, down, down, down. We're still the world's, #1 currency, just because we're such a powerful consumer place, right? Like nobody on the planet consumes like America, right? That's the only reason why we got the power. Pretty soon we won't be consuming that much, right? because they're going to raise interest rates so high, they're going to squeeze the money so hard, and there's no jobs for anybody. You're just going to be living off some small government subsidy, hence the universal basic income. I don't know if you guys realize this, but they're really targeting the kids. They could care less about you. If you're like 30 or 40-ish, they could care less about you, man. You're already pushed aside, right? They're focusing on the kids. Wear the mask, get the vax, do what we say, government rules. You know, then you're going to have the smartphones with their money on. It's going to be digital. They're going to get their social scores. This is all for the kids, y'all. It's not for us. So if you got grandkids, great-grandkids, that's where you need to put your worry and fight like hell for them. All right. 2 days after the latest interest rate hike rise, the 7 governors of the Federal Reserve, the phony, fake government institution that I just told you about, do your homework. Look it up, right? And like I say, we've gotten rid of them 3 other times. Let's get rid of them again. And that's why they don't like people like John F. Kennedy. Oh, what happened to him? That's the reason why they don't like Rand Paul and his dad, right? Because they know, right? And they always talk against it. All right. Carol Walton of Harbor results. Okay. The 7 governors of the Federal Reserve met with some business folk. Basically, what they say is the business folk at a plastic company processor who hired 14 new employees, only for a mere 3 to show up on their first day, and one of those quit before lunch. Another from a restaurant said her peers were struggling to make rent as food and labor bills mounted. Tom Henning of Cashwa, a distribution company, explained his firm was passing costs on to customers. Demand was holding up, he said, thanks to the amount of money floating out there in the economy. You can't flood all that money out into the economy. They were telling them, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. It's going to raise interest rates, it's going to raise rates, it's going to raise inflation, and they do it anyway. They do it every single time. It's like a Keynesian, you know, like you could go look up this stuff, these policies, and you don't like that stuff, right? You don't flood the market with the cash. Anytime you flood it, if there's 1 million hats like this out there, it's worth like $5. But if there's 100,000 hats like out there, it's worth like $10. That's just, you know, supply and demand stuff, right? So there it is right there. People don't want to work. They're getting money from somewhere. A lot of these subsidies are still going on or something. I don't get it, all right? So that's just them telling you what's been going on with the interest rates rising, how they can't get employees. And this is the Federal Reserve, and they're going to hit you right in the face. Buckle up, America. The Fed plans to sharply boost unemployment. So a lot of things that are going to happen now coming up are going to be job losses, which will cause you to lose your car, which will cause you to lose your house. Interest rates are going to start creeping up higher and higher. So if you're in a house that you can't afford, even to downsize, I think they were saying right now with that was 3% or something, 2.7%, and now house money's 6%, I think, right? Don't quote me. So that extra 4% adds $200,000 onto the average 30-year mortgage. Hello? Did you catch that? Adds $200,000 onto. So the only people getting rich off all this stuff are the bankers, right? So they create all the problem, and now they're making the money. It was just 24 months ago. There was no problem. Everything was great. Russia was doing fine. Germany was doing fine. Trump was warning them not to have all their energy with Russia because that could be a problem. They ignored that, and here we are, right? And now nothing's fine. Middle East is on fire. I got stories about Germany coming up in another video, the next video, right? So I'm just saying, nothing's fine. All right, Fed Chair Jerome Powell made it simply clear last week that when the central bank projected its benchmark rate hitting 4.4 by the end of the year, even if it causes a recession. So they do not care, man. They are full steam ahead. I was trying to explain to you guys that they kind of think of you as collateral damage, right? Like, you just get to this certain point in your mind, okay? And you start believing this chatter and this talk that people are anything but human, I guess you would say, right? So to lose some or to thin the herd is no big deal to them. Be likely some softening of labor market conditions, Powell said in his September 21st economic outlook. While we will keep it until we are confident the job is done. Right? What is the job? The job is to close all the mom and pop stores and to put a hurting on you guys and to slow you down, right? Because you're advancing and being too progressive. We're the greatest country and the fastest growing, the richest, most fulfilled place ever in the history of Earth. and it's starting to freak them out. I think what they're worried about too is the internet, to be honest with you. I think the internet is getting so powerful with the information and the people learning and waking up. Look at us all waking up together. And I think that's scaring the bejesus out of them, because they've been used to this all these years. They've been quiet, and, you know, they kind of work with the newspapers or the, you know, CBS, NBC, Fox, CNN, all those people, and they can kind of control the narrative. But now they have all of us independent reporter kind of people out here, and we're all grabbing these stories and talking about them and giving our independent personal spins on them. And I think that's what gets them really nervous. And a lot of people are waking up, and they're finally seeing how all this stuff works. And they're seeing, like, oh, when I was a kid and coming up, they were saying, your vote don't count. That's silly. Ha ha, it's all rigged. I'm just going to leave that right there. All right. I do anticipate that accomplishing price stability will require slower employment growth and somewhat higher unemployment rates, Susan Collins, president of the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston, said Monday in a speech. And I take very seriously that unemployment is painful and that costs have been disproportionately concentrated among groups that have traditionally been marginalized. They always throw in that little racial little thing, you groups that have been marginalized. Hot news flash, you marginalized groups. Her and the people she hangs with are the people that marginalize you, okay? Not your common man walking around out here with you. It's these people. They marginalize you. They're the ones keeping you down. They're the ones chaining the Bibles to the pulpit. Yeah, I said it, chaining the Bibles to... Did you know that? That back in the day, long time ago, the preacher men would chain the Bible to the pulpit so the common man would not learn how to read and find out what it says for themselves, right? So that was their power play. They would chain that book to the pulpit. No one could have it but him. So whatever he said was just the truth, and they just had to take it as the truth. Then along came the printing press, and then people started reading and learning. And as soon as that happened, you go back in history and study how many advancements came from that. Oh my gosh, it will rattle your brain, okay? The speed and girth of growth that happened after that. And that's what they're afraid of now, in my personal, humble opinion, right? Because this is going to bust it all up. We might actually get back to a true republic, democracy, you know, how we were meant to be in America, every state standing on its own, no federal babysitter. You know, thanks to Lincoln. Lincoln messed that all up. That's why they like Lincoln, if you ever wondered why they like a Republican. Because he was a central planner. He ushered all this stuff in. I wish there was a painless way to do that, Powell said. There isn't. Hurts so good. Here's the idea behind why boosting the nation's unemployment would cool inflation. With an additional 1 million or 2 people out of work, the newly unemployed and their families would sharply cut back on spending. All right, guys, so that's how they're going to do it, right? They're going to punish you for going to work and spending your money, right? Even you marginalized folks. You go to work, you bust your butt all week, you get your 40 hours in, and you want to try to better your life, get a little something. The sun's coming up good now. Get a little something better for yourself, right? Now they're going to punish you and cost you your job, right? I mean, can't you guys see what's going on here? So that's the latest on your country and the Federal Reserve in America here. They're out to put you out of business. And they even say it in their own words and everything else. They're trying to put the pinch on you guys, and a lot of you guys, you just keep buying stuff because you're using your savings and everything now because you want to get ready for what's coming. I don't blame you. But that makes them nervous. There's, you know, the heat is just getting on, right? Let me get you guys situated here. That's all the information I got for you guys today. It's a humdinger, right? Interest rates are going to be raising up. So I've been trying to show you guys and kind of get you ahead of all this. If you've been watching the videos and actually paying attention, I was scrambling, getting some tools. I was scrambling. I got a truck. You know, I was telling you guys things were coming. I got the gas situated up here, so I have bulk gas at the property. We know we grow 90% of our own food. We poop in buckets. We live 100% off rainwater, and we're ready for whatever they throw at us, right? But we're just trying to help you get ready as well. Okay, if you got any questions, leave them down below. Always go to offgridwithdougandstacy.com. It's a great resource. We archive all of our videos there. We have some blog posts there that we write out, and you know, they're nice stories to read and everything. And we also have a shop tab which has Stacy's fermenting books, our cookbook, a couple of other little things that we have, and some other affiliate links, stuff that we use around the homestead that will be beneficial around your place. And we also work with those folks and get you discounts, because we want to help save you money, and we want to help you guys get prepared, and we want to keep bringing you this information, so when it hits, you won't say, man, I'm really upset with Doug and Stacy. They might have known this was coming and they didn't even give us a warning, right? Like, I would be upset. So I've been trying to tell you guys what's coming. This stuff is for real, and it is coming. They're going to let a little bit of the selection stuff get out of the way, because they don't want to just, you know, slit their own throats, right? Be for real. But they are full steam ahead. And how this ends, I don't know. I don't know. How bad it gets, I don't know. Right now, you guys need to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. See you on the next video.